Hey, you fucks. Thanks for, checking out the videos, showing a little bit of support. How about you take it to the next level and show us some love over there on Patreon, huh? Huh? Huh?
I'm just Ken. Anywhere else I'd be a 10. Is it my destiny to live a life of something blonde fragility? Yeah, hey, what's up, guys? It's your good old hot Papa Tikyo. And as you can see, there's a bunch of flashing different things here. Yeah, I'm trying to get into the habit of making a rant every day, because every day I'm on the phone with my friends for maybe well, actually not considering all these things. I remember there was a time where I would call my friends because I was lonely, and I'd be like, oh man, like, hey guys, how's it going? And it's like I'd spend like a couple hours a day on the phone like some kind of teenage girl in the 90s. But these days, it's funny. These days, I just do mostly like audio messages to my friends, because I don't know. I'm one of those guys where it's like if I can't be 100% invested in a phone call, I don't want to have a phone call. Sometimes you'll call people and they're doing like 500 different things and just but But anyway, I was just like, if instead of just sending my friends an audio message spiel or whatever, like why don't I just send them the thing saying hi to everybody? So that's what I thought I'd do today. I thought we'd go and I could just spiel about something that I've probably talked about before. Before multiple different times. Apologies, yawning. Yeah, we're in this video called Kami Shakuji. Yeah, I was like, okay, well, since I want to go out and film other things, usually I was like, I need to go out and get some B-roll and stuff. And Kami Shakuji, from what I remember, that's in West Tokyo. Kami Shakuji. I think this is a area of West Tokyo. It's like a suburb area of Tokyo where they have a lot of if I'm thinking of the right place, it's they'll have these famous universities in Japan, like Keio University or Tokyo University or Waseda University, and it's like they have I'm sorry for the yawning, guys. I need to get my coffee in. They'll have like their main campus, which is like in the heart of the city, and then they'll have like their side campuses or whatever on the outskirts of the city. And I remember in this area they have the sports. They have like a huge sports area just dedicated for the Waseda University. And I was like, oh shit! And I think I might have actually I was looking to start my own guest house with one of my bosses back in the day, and so we looked at a house around this area, but it's just one of those things where it's like it's hard to even get Gaijin to come out to stay at a guest house for less than I don't know, it was 10 minutes by by the bullet train, but yeah, people still didn't want to go and do that. They were like, it's a big pain in the ass, screw that, So what are you gonna do? Why am I fucking... Well, that's what I get for trying to do this shit while in the morning, right? And yawning, right? But anyway, yeah, so... yeah, I've just been snagging footage from all these other people that do... that get way better looking B-roll than I do. And, yeah, and I'm just like, okay, there we go. This guy, he recorded a thing better than me. I'm just gonna snag his footage and then talk over it, because then it still looks like it's Japan-related. And then, of course, I'm going to still have my own footage that I'm going to use from time to time. But I'm just saying, in the times like right now, I don't have any extra B-roll footage from my motorcycle. So I'm like, okay, I'll just do a rant where I'm just talking to the fucking, where I'm talking over somebody else's footage. And, I mean, hey, it's the same thing practically. I mean, honestly, I don't even show my face in these videos, so unless I pointed it out to you guys and you didn't see the logo saying this is somebody else's footage, I could totally just be like, this is mine. Unless somebody's like a hardcore 4K walking fan, You're not gonna fucking know that. You know, you're not gonna get it. But anyway, yeah, how you guys doing today? By the way, if you guys did not already do it, these videos are sponsored by the likes of you. So I don't make any money off this Google AdSense. So if you want to do me a favor, you could super chat, you could do a super comment. Hello to everybody in the premiere. Thank you for everybody who's done the super chats before. Yeah, you have that option because that really helps out the channel. And that time will also go towards extending the live stream on YouTube that we do after each one of these rants. And yeah, that's pretty badass. And yeah, look at that truck just full of a bunch of crap and shit on it. How do they never have like spillages here? This is crazy. But yeah, thank you guys for everybody who does that. Thank you everybody who goes and signs up for my Patreon at patreon.com/TkyoSam. We've got a bunch of different bonuses there, like my super special secret blog, my behind the scenes footage. We do consultations over there for people that want to learn about Japan related shit. We have Japanese lessons, and we even do tours. So if you guys are planning on coming over to Japan and you're looking for some hot sexual one-on-one dad time, then yeah, consider going over there and checking it out, guys. But anyway, yeah. So that's yeah, patreon.com/TkyoSam. All those links will be down below. And like always, don't forget to smash like button, hit that subscribe bell and subscribe button to get notified when these videos come out. If you didn't join my Discord yet, I always announce these, like anything that happens in my YouTube sphere, it happens thanks to the Discord. Like, you know, I announce it there first. So look on the Discord. The link's down below for that. You just got to write an intro, and then the mods should let you in. But yeah, anyway, yeah, let me know, guys. It's fucking badass. Yeah, you know, fucking, I always think of Frank Reynolds, you know, yeah, something is badass, you know. But anyway, yeah, thank you guys always for the support like that. And, yeah, I'm just trying to think. And I guess question of the day is, I don't know, man. I'm just like, you know, all of us that, like, all of you guys, like, I guess including me because I listen to my own fucking things when we do the premiere too. Like, all of you guys, where you live, like, what would you consider to be somebody who's, like, just fucking lame, you know? Like, somebody who's like, dude, that guy's just, like, fucking, like, he's just, you know, that guy's just a douchebag, you know? He's just fucking lame. Yeah, like, I don't know. Let me know what your thoughts are on that, because it's just like, you know, like, for example, like, somebody who is lame, I think if I was back in America, it would be, like, you know, look, I'm never one to judge somebody if they're staying with their parents or, like, they have, like, just a regular blue-collar job, like, you know, like if they're working part-time at Taco Bell or something. Like, look, dude, like, we all have to function in our own way or whatever, but as long as they have, like, a hobby, as long as they have something that they're really passionate about, that's when I don't give people shit. But it's just a lot of people, they fall into the you know, I mean, that's the whole topic of today, guys. While we're totally virtual walking around here near the SEO cycle place, is just like, you know, how do you differentiate these guys who are, you know, it's just like they don't like life, you know, like they got stuck. It's kind of like the Casey Neistat golden handcuffs thing, right? It's just like these dudes, they're not doing a job that they like. I mean, it's a job they kind of fell into that was easy, and they're just working to survive. They're not actually working because they like the job or they get fulfillment out of the job or they even have respect or, like, you know, pride in their job. They just do it because they feel like they're stuck, you know. And then, like, what do? They just take out, and like that could be not even just for a blue collar job. That could be for people that, like, are English teachers long term in Japan or whatever, which we're gonna kind of talk about, you know, a little bit here. So yeah, because this is like a subject I kind of wanted to talk about recently, because I don't know, it's just no, look at that car getting so close. You like how the roads here are like orange red, like the intersections are obviously red. It's just so people know, like, when the cars are coming, if they got bad eyesight, and then they got green for the semi fucking, what is it, like the sidewalks, or what they consider sidewalks here, you know. That's funny. But yeah, it's just like I don't know. I don't know. I mean, what do you think? I just like I the prompt for this rant today is that like I think I might have talked about it during my live streams. I don't know if I talked about this during a rant yet. And here, let me crack up my coffee. Oh, coffee, why? Oh God. Oh, I love that. Oh, I need to eventually get a coffee machine. I know. I need to eventually get a coffee machine and, you know, grind my own beans and roast it. I just when I did that in the past, like I always felt like I got heart palpitations from instant coffee and then from regular coffee. So that's why I always kind of stuck to like coffee in a carton or like coffee in a can, you know. I don't get the heart palpitations of those ones. But yeah, I should try to like brew my own coffee, especially since it's gonna be winter soon, and you know you gotta just do it. You know, you gotta do it. But anyway, yeah. I guess this walk is taking place like almost before sunset or something. That's really nice. And look at that person. They were gonna go on the sidewalk, but just to get out of the way of the cameraman, they went over there. Nakagawa Yakyoku. Okay, there you go. All these people on the bicycles, man. Like, see, this is like why when people are like, why do you want to live in the heart of Tokyo? This is the reason why. This is fucking, like, this whole area is technically West Tokyo. And it's still just like, no. Inagaya, oh my god, yes. Oh, fuck. I have been here. Okay, I know exactly where we are now. Fuck. I rode around this place in my motorcycle. On spaghettis. But yeah, this whole area, man, like it's just Inagaya, for all of you guys who don't know, it's like a really big supermarket. Well, I mean, you could obviously tell, right? But they also have like other shit, like you could buy shoes there and stuff. It's weird. I don't know why. I don't know why you want to do that, but you could do that, you know. I'm gonna put on some jazz music, but hopefully it doesn't pick up by the audio in the background. J-Man, play black jazz. Because I got my microphone only set up to 50, so it should only pick up my voice and not stuff around the microphone, you know? Yeah, I mean, you know, it's just this area, man. I mean, like, when the only buildings around you, the tallest buildings are only, like, 3 stories, and, like, there's no landmarks, like, that you can see, and it just stretches on forever, where it's just 3 stories tall, and then, like, you know, the only things that are around you are like supermarkets and houses. I don't know, man. It fucking, that's like hell to me right there. Like, I love going outside of my fucking apartment and immediately it's just like, yeah, there's like shit going on. There's people walking around. They're doing stuff. They're going to work. They're going out for drinks. They're doing something, you know? Like, I love being around the buzzing of activity. Like, you know, it's ironic because a lot more crime happens outside of the city of Tokyo than it does inside the city. And I think the reason why is because there's just so many people to keep you in check, you know? I mean, same thing. It's like if you're in the countryside, you're isolated. You don't see the cops that often. I mean, you still do, but not as often as you did before. And, like, I don't know. It's just, I don't know. It's just such a boring existence, man. And, God, it's like I'm not going to judge you by your job or economic status, but I will judge you by where you choose to live. And if you lived in a place like this, I just don't understand why, you know? Like, I don't see the appeal. Like I get it for, like, people that move, like, first they move to Japan, and they're like, I need to be in a place that's quiet and has less people. Like my buddy Jim. Like, my buddy Jim, Kid Shoryuken, or Mad Panic Gaming. Hey, everybody, Mad Panic Gaming here, Jim here. He lives in a place like this, and he loves it because it's quiet, and it's near Tokyo, you know? But for me, I'm like, and he also wanted a bigger place. Like, he pays a couple $100 extra a month more, and his place is significantly bigger than my place. But I don't mind sacrificing it because I'm in the heart of the city. And also, I got an elevator, Jim. Fuck your fucking place. You non-elevator having son of a bitch. I hate going over to Jim's place. Jim's place is like it's fucking you gotta walk up like 6 flights of stairs. I thought the guest house stairs were kind of bad, but nah, at least they had some good pacing to them. Jim's is just all wonky and there's circles and just But anyway, yeah, I mean, like, for a place like this, I always hated it for the hypocrisy, right? Because it's like, you know, like, you need a car to get around a town like this, but the pricing for parking and everything is still, like, it's not the same as inner Tokyo, but it still costs quite a bit, you know, if you're gonna park anywhere. So it's fucking, it's like you get all of the extra costs bullshit of living in the center of the city, but with none of the benefit, you know? Like, at least in the center of Tokyo, there is a train station everywhere. I mean, like, one of my favorite things that I used to do when I first came to Japan was that I would just go somewhere. I'd pick a train station to go to, and then I would just walk around that area. I'd just walk around. I'd give myself some walking around money, you know, buy some shoes. But, you know, Gator needs some shoes. But, like, you know, and then when the day was done and I was tired, I would just walk to another train station. And I knew that whatever train station I got on, I could go and transfer to another train station to get back to my youth hostel. And it's like here, in a place like this, the buses close at around like 9 or something. And they don't go that often. And, like, if you're a Gaijin and you don't know Japanese, I guess you could Google Maps it maybe. But I don't know if Google Maps even does bus routes. But yeah, it's like, unless you know this area and you have a bicycle, it's going to be really tough to move around and stuff in it. So, I don't know. Meh. But, like, you know, I always do these things as like a warm-up to get into the topic. But, oh, look at that red. Oh, I love it when people have the motorcycles or scooters. It's just so nice. Yeah, you got to remember, because this is West Tokyo, they don't really, like, Tokyo doesn't get that much snow every year, you know? It's not very a snowy place, you know? But it is nice, you know? It is nice. It's got the things. It's pretty, you know, it's very pure. I like the cocaine. But, yeah, I mean, just, like, look at how clean and pristine those roads are. When I went to Okinawa, the roads were such shit. They were just so, like badly maintained and shit. And, like, the people that live there told me it's because, well, like, you know, because of the sea salt, you know, like, it corrodes the asphalt, so, like, we don't re-asphalt the fucking place every year or whatever. I don't know. Whatever. It's funny, because when I went down to Okinawa, the guy who I rented the bike from, I rented vacation spaghetti from, he's like, you gotta be careful, you're gonna slip on the road here because the gravel is kind of loose. It's very different from Tokyo roads. And I could see what, maybe that would make a difference to, like, people that don't have driving experience, but I'm like, unless you're speeding like a maniac, that's not gonna be a big fucking issue, you know? Look at these people on their bicycles, thinking they're better than me, riding around their goddamn bicycles. Oh, Coffee. Look at that. Even the high school kids got the bicycles here, you know? It's so funny because, like, if you're in an inner city place in Tokyo, they don't want the kids to ride their bicycles. I mean, maybe some places have bicycle parking, but if you're outside of Tokyo, you pretty much have to have a bicycle if you're going there, and that's fucking lame. Like, the high school that I taught at in Saitama, like, even there, like, all the kids had to get there by bicycle or by bus, and the bus didn't come that often, so a lot of them just, like, you know, I think some of the kids got dropped off by their parents, which I didn't even know was allowed, but I was like, okay, that's cool, that's good. But anyway, I mean, like, the whole point of this fucking the whole point of this rant today was going to be about, like, don't be a lame ass gaijin. And also, it's just like, you know, I love spieling, you know? I got the gift of gab, you know? I could talk and talk and talk and talk. It's funny because it's like, you know, growing up on and off in New York, like, you just, well, I mean, you know, it could just be my Jewish godparents or whatever, you know? But it's just like, you gotta learn to talk because everyone's trying to talk over you and they're going so fucking fast all the time and shit, right? And so, like, if you're gonna say something, you gotta say it quick and you gotta get to the point quick, you know? And, God, I remember just, like, walking with my godfather around on the street. These fucking tourists would just stand in the middle of the fucking street. And each time he just yelled at him, he's like, "Get to the side of the street, asshole!" You know, like they'd be like standing in the middle during fucking rush hour, like everyone's going home, and it's just like, yeah. And I learned that, like I have that embedded in my fucking brain that it's like, if I ever needed to check my phone or check like a map to see where I am or whatever, that you do not get in the way of the people that are trying to walk. And that's one frustrating thing about tourists in Japan now. They don't know that rule of etiquette when they're in a crowded street. But, yeah, anyway, I mean, like, look at these streets. They're so fucking wide right now. Like, it's just, I mean, like, you know, I think, unfortunately, like, walking video channels like this are a dime a dozen these days. It seems like everybody and their mom moved to Japan and then got a gimbal for their fucking camera, and then just like they're like, okay, I'm gonna go walk around. I mean, to be honest, I really wish I had this when I first moved to Japan. If I had done that, maybe I'd be in better shape now, just because I'd be walking and getting footage. You know, because I know that like Thick Daddy Drew, Tokyo Drew, this is kind of like what he does. You know, he'll just walk around somewhere for an hour, get a can of coffee, get a smoke, and then just talk to his viewers. I don't know. I think like, but for me, like whenever I did IRL before, I didn't get any donations, you know, and like you're not, you know, you shouldn't do live streaming to get donations. You should do live streaming at first just for fun. But it's just when I get more results for like money or views just by being at home, you know, versus going for a walk and stuff, then I'm like, why am I doing this live? I'll just record it and then like use it later, you know, like, and that way, because like if you do IRL streaming, you got some crazy people maybe coming and trying to like fucking stream snipe you. You might have technical difficulties and you can't read the chat. Like I remember I went to Chiba one time and I was just trying to fucking I tried to do a live stream on my phone, and it was literally so hot that it like overheated my phone a couple times. I had to stop the stream, and I'm like, why did I do this, you know? Went all the way to Chiba. I'm trying to fucking do this. And I'm like, it would have been a lot better if I had just recorded the YouTube videos and then taken a break in between filming. And that's kind of like what solidified me, like not doing IRL streaming, you know. But anyway, lame Gaijin. Don't be a lame Gaijin. So what exactly is a lame Gaijin, you ask? Well, I bet if you guys look at my Tkyorants playlist online, either on the profile on ADVJapan or Tkyo-sam profile, you'll see that this is like a constant topic, but I guess it's like a 2023 topic while we still got 2023 going. It's like, you know, don't be a lame Gaijin, man. And you're probably wondering, well, Dad, what is a lame Gaijin? You know, like I'm a Gaijin, Dad. You know, I grew up on the south side of Gaijinville. What's the Gaijin stuff? So, you know, the cool thing is that more than ever, there are so many people that are coming to Japan and they're learning Japanese to complete fluency without ever growing up here. And I think that is mostly in part to AJAT becoming such a widely known thing among other people around here. You know, I think that's a big thing. I think that a lot of people fucking, you know, like they know how to, like I saw this great video of like that, you know, something Takashi guy, or whatever, like My Life with Takashi or something. Like I saw him interview this white chick and she spoke flawless Japanese. I mean, like her tempo, her vocabulary, like everything was so spot on. And she just said the same thing, you know, as Kat's always said, you know, it's just like fucking, you know, get that immersion going, you know, and like surround yourself more with native speaker stuff that Japanese people like to listen to versus other shit. And I was like, yes, yeah, that's what you need, right? You know, and I don't know, like it's true. I think that a lot of people forget that. They forget the fucking, like, you know, that's what you need, right? You know, and it's like you need to like, if you're gonna go to any country, you gotta learn the language, and props to you if you learn the language before you even come here. Now, take in mind, that does kill a lot of mystery when you first get here, but if you've got big plans for Japan, then I don't see where the harm is, you know? Like, okay, like, I want to go, like, so, like, we're gonna talk, like, economic shit, we're gonna talk about mentality shit, and we're gonna talk about all this other shit, too, but, yeah, is anybody still in the Premiere chat right now? Are you guys in the Premiere chat? How many people we got in the Premiere chat? I can't even see it because this is a recording, but you guys better stop what you're doing and say hi, Dad, in the chat. Say hi to the high school girl on the bike that just came by, this freshly groomed, the tree shrubbery. Well, okay, that one didn't look that good, but yeah, that's, look at that guy with his fucking garage with the fucking metal gate on top of that. That's just funny. It's like, yeah, that's gonna stop people. But yeah, it's just like, okay, like, for instance, like, I remember, when I was in college, we had an anime club, and I was like, cool, I love anime, and I love Japan, so, like, I'm finally gonna, like, I'm gonna make some friends that really like Japan as much as I do, and then I went in there, and it was just a bunch of smelly, fat nerds with long ponytails and glasses, and like they all lived with their parents, which is fine, but it's just like they're very, very antisocial people. Like, I remember I consider myself a man of the people, you know. I can boldly say that. Like, I can get down, you know, with the cool young hip Americans of 2020 or so. I don't know. I mean, like, I'm just saying, like, I'm willing to give everyone the benefit of the doubt, and I don't mind. I don't need to, like, crush people's spirits or be an asshole to people to have a good time, you know. And I just remember those guys being, like, just such fucking nerds. Like, they were just so, like, I remember they wanted to watch anime. I can't remember which one it was. It was like Cowboy Bebop, but it was a Japanese dub, and like the anime club was like, we didn't do anything except watch anime like videos. That's all it was. And like, I was like, aren't we gonna like talk about Japan or do anything else, you know, like, you know, maybe like they talk about the creators or something? And it was like, nah, they would just rent out a room, and it wasn't even in the fucking, it wasn't even on campus, it was on the stadium. It was in the football stadium. They rented out a room in the football stadium for the anime club. And it's like, and yeah, all they did was they would buy these pirated DVDs from China, and then we would watch them there. And it's just like, I remember, like, the big one was like, friends do not let friends do dubs, when I asked them, like, are we gonna just watch the Cowboy Bebop in English or something? But yeah, those guys were fucking weird, man. Like, they were the kind of guy, they were like Chris Chan types, you know. And I don't feel bad saying that, because they were just like, I bet those guys would have fucked their mom. I don't know. You know, don't call anybody. And the whole reason why I'm getting on this spiel is just because, you know, Japan, no matter where you go in life, you're going to meet those weird-ass people, you know? And, yeah, look at this fucking bicycle parking right outside somebody's house, you bastard. Why do you need that shit for your own house? Look at this. This is really nice. So look at all the greenery around here. But anyway, it's just like, that is one nice thing about the living outside Tokyo. You don't get such heavily dense green stuff like this that often. But at the same time, I wouldn't go there enough to care enough. So, but yeah, it's like you're gonna encounter people like that no matter where you go. So like, I'm not gonna say specific names just because, you know, I'm not that much of a dick. But you know, like, there's two kinds of women. Oh, actually, three kinds, and I'm going to give you a story for each one of these, okay? So, I'm drinking Wanda Morning Shot Black Coffee right now. Coffee, why won't they let us be together? So, there is, I remember there was a woman that, when she first, when I first came to Japan, there was this chick that I knew through like a YouTube friend, and she learned Japanese before she came to Japan, because I guess she played a game where where you could, it was like for the Wii, it wasn't even for the Switch, it was like for the Wii, the original Wii, not even Wii U, and she could play it online with Japanese people, and so she was able to interact with Japanese people, and she did the whole immersion thing while she was living in the States in like the trailer park that she was living in, and anyway, she came over to Japan, and I think she finished like her last like year or two of university here. And, after she finished university, like, a lot of people here, if they want to go to an English-speaking university and never learn Japanese, they'll go to, like, Temple University, or they'll go to Sophia or Waseda. But, yeah, because, like, to be fair, the people that I knew that went to Waseda, at least half of them kind of learned Japanese. But, yeah, if you want to not learn Japanese, you go to Temple or Sophia, because they won't force you to learn Japanese. Well, I mean, they'll make you go to class, but they won't force you to actually learn the shit. But anyway, she graduated from Temple, and then she got a job here. And, this is a woman who, like, she was cute enough. Like, she wasn't, like, a fucking, oh, my God, like, heartbreaker. But she was cute enough. She had a great, like, down-to-earth personality. And people respected her because she learned Japanese so quickly before coming over to Japan. But eventually, like, she got, she was working for these buraku kigyo, like black companies, which is like famous for treating people bad, having you work overtime, etc., right? And so I've always been the guy who's kind of the mindset that, like, look, if this place treats me like an asshole, I'm just gonna leave. I'm gonna bail. Like, I'm gonna Christian bail that shit. And she this chick, she just was like, she did the opposite. She just like kind of stuck it out, maybe because that's kind of the Japanese way of just kind of like, just, bite and grit your teeth kind of thing, to when you're dealing with that bullshit, right? But, for me, I was just like, but anyway, like, I would see her on Facebook, and she'd be complaining, and eventually she would, like, complain and talk shit about Japanese people, and she'd just make all these very broad, very negative, general, like, assessments of Japanese people, and she'd be like, oh, I hate Japanese people, I hate blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, motherfucker, like, you're in some shitty environment. So it's like, I remember Katsumoto, the guy who taught me Japanese, who I already made a rant about. If you guys didn't listen to that, go check it out. It should be on the ADV Japan channel. I remember he's like, your experience heavily depends on the environment, and like that includes races. So if like you're in a environment where Japanese people treated you bad, then of course you're gonna have that mentality. But you gotta remember that that's just an environment thing, Like I remember like Cass was talking about how he's like, if what if your only exposure to Japanese men was in, like, a male prison in Japan or, like, in America, and you're like, these guys are weird. All they do is, like, beat me up, and they even have sex with men. It's like you would have a different perspective on those guys, right? You'd be like, what the hell? And, like, so you were getting a very small, very, like, isolated and concentrated, like, negative experience, of that stuff. But it's not the reality. Oh, say hello to the old people. Hi, old people. But it's just like you're not getting the full dose of reality there. And like that was the thing with this chick, man. Like she never got to experience like a good company. She never got to experience having like good Japanese friends because she just picked like shitty people that like she didn't have boundaries with people. And so like she eventually ended up like marrying like a Japanese American guy, I think, or whatever. And then they even moved back to America. They moved back to shitty fucking, just not good fucking. It's like a shit place in America. I won't say it because I don't want to specify anything more about her. But yeah, I was just like, wow, and like like the thing is, it's just like I always saw Japan as like this place is amazing, and I'm so grateful to be in a place like this. Because you got to remember, guys, like I grew up poor, and like there was like people they take for granted all this other stuff. And I mean, like I know like America's got school shootings and stuff, but it's like I grew up where people would just like, it's not that they would be killed in front of you, but like you would find out, you would hear constantly about all these different people dying, like at the schools that I went to, some kids, they were in gangs and they just get fucking killed. Like I remember being 11, and one of the Mexican kids I knew, he got fucking murdered, man. Like, you know, he was part of the gang, and like he just got, you know, it's like that was part of life, you know, where I grew up. Like, people would just die and stuff. So it's like, I always tried to take it with like, my mentality was like, hey, at least, you know, shit's bad around me. Like, I can't really walk around except to go to like the gas station before, like, you know, and like I got to be careful about when I walk and where I go. But at least it's like, at least I still have, you know, at least there's food in the fridge, and at least I have, like, you know, Shenmue. At least I have a Dreamcast and like fast speed internet, you know. So it's like you gotta take the win when you can, you know. And if you want more, there's nothing wrong with wanting more, but you gotta focus on what you want and surround yourself with better people versus just like ultimately just fucking getting angry about stuff. I mean, like, hell, I you know, I did a thing recently where I'm just trying to get fucking like, I'm not deleting my Twitter, but I'm like mass unfollowing a bunch of people just because Twitter keeps showing me like, hey, look, this person beat up this person or this person did that. And I'm like, that's always gonna happen. But like, the more that you surround yourself with that in your news feed every day, it's just gonna be worse for you, you know. So you gotta, like, even me, like, you know, it's just like I gotta remember that, you know. Like, we are a product of our environment. I think it's way more of a nurture versus nature thing when it comes to people, but. Yeah, anyway, with her, it's just like, but anyway, yeah, she ended up, like, even though she learned awesome, fluent Japanese, and she was a smart chick, like, she just put herself in this shit environment, and then she let people that, that didn't have her best interest in mind dictate her behavior and, like, how she thought, like, you know, how she considered, you know, her place in the Japan world kind of thing, you know? And so, you know, it's like, so that's one example. And then there's like another example of like, there, like, you know, like there's a woman who, she never learned, Japanese. She's like an English teacher, right? But the thing is that she never surrounded herself with Japanese people. You know, she never learned Japanese, but at least, because there's some English foreigners here, or English-speaking foreigners, that at least, even if they don't speak Japanese, they'll still go out of their way to make friends with Japanese people that do speak English, you know? And, hold on, just sipping the coffee here. God damn it. I poured coffee on. Coffee, help. Coffee, I spilled coffee on me. Help. Tico, what are you doing here? Why are you summoning me in the middle of a rant? I'm sorry, Coffee, but I drank the can sideways instead of in front of me, and it spilled out of my sternum. Oh, man. I need at least 3 coffees when I'm doing these rants in the morning, I tell you that much. Look at this old guy on his bike. Both of these old guys, they think they're better than me being on a bike, you bastards. But, anyway, the second chick that I was talking about, it's like she came here as an English teacher, and all she did was hang out with white people, you know? She didn't even bother to hang out with Japanese people. And she learned Japanese well enough, but it was not like she can't read a newspaper or anything. She can't watch a movie and understand what the hell is going on. And but she always just dated white guys here. She never tried to like have a Japanese boyfriend. She never learned Japanese, and eventually she just left, you know. And she just left Japan, and then she went back to the States, and I don't know. She works for like somewhere right now. I don't know. It's fucking weird. But it's like, you know, some people, they can't take it. It's because like they don't dig roots here, you know. Like for me, like I have Japanese friends, but they're all fucking married now, and I don't, you know, the thing is like, except for me and a handful of people, even like Papa Tetsu, dude. Like Papa Tetsu works for a startup company now. And he wants to do the whole Silicon Valley thing where he, like, invests all of his time in there. So then, you know, eventually when the company gets big enough or goes public, he can be, like, one of the executives of the company. And I get it. But, you know, it's like, as you get older, your priorities, instead of just, like, friendship, kind of like, you have to really go out of your way to maintain friendships, you know? Like, even, I'm recording this on a Saturday morning, because I always work Saturdays. Hell, for the last fucking almost like, oh my god, long time. Like basically since I moved to Tokyo, I have always worked Saturday mornings. And I've always had a job on Saturday because I didn't want to just be stuck with like one paycheck. You know, I wanted to have a full paycheck, or I wanted to have extra running around money. You know, I could use that to pay my rent if I got if I lost my job. But also I could, it's like I could use that to, what do you call it? It's like, that was fucking around money too. So like if I lost my job, I could pay my rent with that. And if I wasn't, then I could use that as like fucking play around money each week. But, it's just, now that I'm older though, it's just like my friends are either married or they're really focused on their career. So it's like if you want to hang out with them, you got to like schedule something. So like Papa Tetsu and I haven't seen each other for months. I mean, we talk to each other on the phone like once a week, and man, that fucking truck was really close, wasn't it, right there? God damn. Like these tight streets, man, you got to be careful. Those guys don't give a fuck. But yeah, I mean, like even Papa Tetsu, like we're going out of our way to do a bike trip from tomorrow, and goddamn, like because this is one of those things where you can't plan. Like, today, like my school is having a last minute event, and I'm like, oh, so do I need to go? And they're like, you don't need to go. And I'm like, well, yeah, damn it, why didn't you tell me? They're like, we did tell you. And I'm like, oh yeah, shit, forgot. So the morning class is canceled, and the afternoon class, my kid has been sick for like 2 weeks now, or at least a week, I guess, from last Saturday to this Saturday. So I have Saturday completely off. And it's just like, except for like a Zoom interpreting call I have from 6 p.m. But, aside from that, it's like my whole day's free right now. But, Papa Tetsu and I, like, Papa Tetsu, he makes more money than me, so I let him take the day off. I mean, like, we try to switch it up, so, like, I take a day off, he takes a day off or whatever. And we're just going to go, like, Papa Tetsu bought all this new camping gear and shit, so we're going to go to Mount Fuji. We're going to go to a camping ground there, and we're just going to we're going to have some fun. We're going to go and do some big boy camping, start some fires. It'll be nice, be nice and sexual. But, like, yeah, we had to, like, schedule that, like, a month ahead of time. And, like, we already have a backup, too, so in case it rains, because if it rains, we probably won't take our motorcycles. We'll just drive there. And it's, like, it's good, though, because it's, like, we just wanted, like, a weekend to ourselves, Like, we haven't gotten a chance to hang out for, like, a whole day since fucking we went to Okinawa in, like, January. So it's almost been, like, a whole year, Like, in between that, it's just been, like, casual drinks or lunches or whatever. But we haven't had some boy time in a while, And it's not like this is a Japanese people kind of thing. It's just, like, this is, like, being in your 30s kind of thing. But that being said, though, I have a subscriber of mine who moved to Japan too, and he hangs out, like, he purposely hangs out with young dudes, like, because the young dudes are always down to go and hang out and stuff. So he'll go and he joined a boxing club, he joined a swim club, and he doesn't really speak Japanese that well, but, like, they love the fact that he put in the effort to meet them and stuff. And you gotta, the thing is like, people want to automatically be like, oh, it's hard. And I know I just said it's hard too, but it's not hard in the fact that it's like, it's not, you don't have a chance or whatever. It's just you got to adapt. And I think a lot of people have trouble adapting to change their way to get what they want, It's like, because, like, nobody wants to see the 40-year-old guy alone by himself at the club hanging out, like, just hitting on chicks, and you can't do the beta boy, like, oh, hey, what are you doing here? You come here often? Like, if you're going to be the older guy at the club, you got to be there with your friends, and you got to have a little bit of money. You got to be well fucking groomed, and you got to have a whole kind of, like, fuck you, I don't care kind of attitude about this shit, So it's like you can still do the same thing. You just gotta, you gotta change the way that you go about it is all. That's the only thing, really. So, so it's like if you want to hang out more spontaneously with people, you make friends with young people. And, like, people are like, oh, man, but I'm old. I can't make friends with young people. I'm like, dude, trust me. Young people don't really give a shit. Like, they don't care, They just want to know that you have your shit together. Like, I don't know. I had like a person who I considered not like, it's not like a super big fucking close friend or whatever, but this one person told me God, it was probably like half a year to maybe a year ago now. I don't remember exactly when, but they were like, yeah, like Sam, you know, like I criticized them because I told them that they surrounded themselves with yes men, and they were like, you know, because this is a person who always pays for people and stuff, and I was like, you know, you surround yourself with yes men, and so like, you know, of course everybody, you know, you're always paying for everybody, so of course everyone's gonna like agree with you and not call you out on your shit. And he was like, he's like, I don't need to be criticized by the likes of you. And take in mind, this is a guy who like constantly bothered me to come hang out with him and stuff. And I was like, what the fuck you mean by that? And he's like, you know, and he's like, you need to get your own shit together. Like, he's like, you don't even have a full-time job, and you don't even have like, you don't own any property, and you're not married. And I was like, you're married and you cheat on your wife all the time. Like, what? Like, what the fuck are you talking about, dude? And he was like, you get your shit together. And I'm like, hey, man, like, I might not have a career like you, but mentality-wise, I'm way fucking leaps and bounds ahead of you, man. Like, I think there's a big, like, you know, and again, like, it depends on the stress that people force onto themselves. Like, I know that, like, I don't really have a career or, like, you know, because I see that people like to join big companies, or they like to be in a company where they can kind of use it as like gang association, right? They're like, I'm associated with the something whatever, man, you know. And it's like they like using it, just saying like, yeah, I passed that interview and I work there now. And that, I'll admit, like, when I was in my 20s, I really thought like that too. But it's like, you got to figure out what works for you, and when you do, you really don't give a shit about comparing yourself to other people, right? Like, for me, I really love the fact that it's just like, okay, you know, for me, it's like, okay, well, I don't want to work full time for a place because people are petty, and office politics is something I don't want to deal with. And it's like, I want to spend a majority of my week doing the stuff that I want to do. And like, so as long as I can hit the bare minimum for my bills and everything, I know I'm not building up money towards retirement or like spending money on lavish vacations or whatever. But like, for me, the most important thing is like time, right? So as long as I have the free time to do whatever I want, then I work a set schedule on Mondays, and then I have a flexible schedule throughout the week for English teacher substitute jobs, as well as interpreting and translating jobs. And like, I'm totally fine with that, because then I can do stuff like this where I wake up, I have a shower, I get my coffee, and then I can just sit here for an hour and spiel to you guys about random shit. So, you know, like, I think there's the difference between being a person who you want to be versus being a person that you think other people will respect. You know, because at the end of the day, you're not doing that for you then. You're doing it for the you know, to get, like, you know, it's like one of those things where it's like women, like, you know, will spend like, you know, 30 minutes thinking about what kind of shoe to fucking wear, right? And it's like, guys don't give a shit about your shoes. And it's like, yeah, they're not doing that for guys. They're doing that for other women. They want to impress other women. They're afraid what other women will say. And like, you know, they want that like, what do you call it? Not verification. That acknowledgement or whatever, you know, like that. It's like from like, oh yeah, oh my God, you got those shoes? Where do you get them? I saw those before. And it's like, yeah, a validation. That's what you want. You want the validation. But it's like, at the end of the day, who, like, you know, who do you want that validation from, you know? And like, like, it's like that Rick and Morty quote where like they're booing him, and he's like, I've seen what you people cheer for. Your boos mean nothing to me. It's like, yeah, exactly. You know, same thing. As long as you have that mentality, then you're not gonna let other people and like outside forces get to you as much, you know. And I think, fuck, who said this? I think, was it Robert Greene, maybe? I can't remember specifically who said it, but it's like, you know, exercise is for the body, but reading is for the mind, you know? So it's like, you want to maintain your body, you do exercise. You want to maintain your mind, you got to constantly read and expose yourself to new ideas and stuff. And I don't know, it makes me sad when some of you guys that watch my videos say that you don't read, because it's like, reading should never be an annoying task. It should always be something that, like, one of my favorite like memories I have from an interpreting job I did was I was interpreting near the Ministry of Defense here in Tokyo, and there was I don't know if it was specifically I mean, it was a library, but I don't think the building was advertised as a library. It was more of like a demonstration hall kind of thing, but in the very back they had a library. And like, these books were rare. Like, you couldn't find PDFs about these books, guys. Like, they were very Like these might be in like some library, like university online library, something like that. But you couldn't find these books anywhere. Like it was so fascinating. Like I read this whole book about like the history of salmon and like the spawning methods of salmon and all this like very technical scientific breakdowns about salmon. And I didn't read the whole book, right? But I skimmed through it for like about 30 minutes and I learned all this shit about salmon. Like I didn't know that salmon is like trout and salmon are the same thing, except salmon go to the ocean, trout don't go to the ocean. But it's like it's just like all these different varieties, like the difference between like farm growing salmon versus like wild growing salmon kind of thing. It's just like all this random shit I wouldn't have learned if I hadn't just had like 30 minutes to spare because I got to the job a little bit too early, right? So I'm just saying, guys, we have too much free time with our phones these days, and we're wasting it watching shit that's just sucking our life force. So read a goddamn book. Anyway, I was in the middle of talking about 3 specific women that I met that were that are Gaijin here. Okay, so there's the first one she learned her Japanese, and she got a job as a career big girl, but she decided to take shit versus just changing it up, right? And then the other girl was a woman who just like she came here, she didn't make any Japanese friends, she didn't learn Japanese, and she eventually went home. The third woman is a woman who she came here and she was basically like on a student visa, right? And just sipping that coffee really quick. Coffee, why? Why are you in my video, coffee? But anyway, this chick, she came here on like a student visa, and she's like a highly sexual chick, like she acknowledges that, and but she loved Japan. Like she came here with the intentions that she's gonna be a student and then she's gonna get a job right after that, right? And so this chick, she did a lot of stuff that you're not supposed to do. Like she worked a bunch of under the table jobs, and like she dated, like she like adapted Japanese culture. Like she really likes the fashion of Japanese chicks. She would join like Japanese gyms and stuff. Like she made a lot of Japanese girlfriends. She really got into like Japanese Netflix and stuff. So like she had stuff to talk about with other Japanese people. And she's a highly sexual person, so she would like, she just went on dates with dudes. Because she was a good-looking chick. I mean, she still is a good-looking chick, but she would just fuck all these guys, But she owned it, like she owned it. She didn't fucking brag about it, about her sluttiness, but it's like she knew that she likes being kind of a slut. She likes being just like going out there and getting on with the guys, but at least she owned it, right? And so so she learned fluent Japanese, and she's doing kind of like these jobs under the table that you're supposed to be doing, and but like she doesn't mind because she's making extra cash, and she's meeting all these different people, she's getting all these different contacts, and she's like fully into the culture. Like I mean, she would go to stuff like the Summer Sonics and like the Ultra Japan things or whatever, like she knew what she wanted. She went after it unapologetically. And whenever something bad happened, she wouldn't blame the Japanese people. She would be able to like have such a clear head about it because she knew who she was, right? And hell, I think she's been here like 8 years now or something, maybe 7. And she's still doing it. Like she got a normal job doing some kind of office work stuff, and she's an American chick who I'm talking about. And, like at night and during the weekends, she just goes and she meets these, like, these money-having, like, kind of, like, hot young Japanese dudes or, like, older dudes. And, like, she's always constantly on Facebook showing off that she's going on vacation with these guys and they're just paying for her. And she's like, she even got plastic surgery, too. I'm like, whoa. But, like, she owns it, right? She doesn't care. Like, she just did what she was going to do. And she did it, And, like, she didn't blame anybody. She didn't, like, whine or, like, scapegoat it to Japan when something bad happened. And, like, that's the big thing, right? Look at this beautiful fucking stone wall that you could easily climb up and Jackie Chan parkour to get in there. But, Yeah, it's just like I don't know. I think like if you have the choice, why not be the third chick? You know, where it's just like you're not gonna like you just appreciate being in Japan so much that it's okay. Like I think a lot of people come here with the mentality that Japan is supposed to change them and they're not supposed to put in any of the fucking work themselves, right? And and again, it just depends on who you're fucking surrounding yourself with, you know, right? Because it's like if you are not if you're not gonna I mean, like, you need to, what is it? Like, I was listening to the audiobook for The Five Rings, Miyamoto Musashi, right? And it, like, they direct translated a lot of that to English. So, they keep saying, like, Koru wa mitome nakeru naranai. You know, it's like, you must acknowledge this if you want to move forward. And it's like, I think that, you know, realizing that you need to have good people around you is a big plus, you know. And there's these other people, like, you know, there's these gaijin that'll just come to Japan and they'll want to be, you know, like they won't learn Japanese. They'll surround themselves with other dudes that didn't learn Japanese, and like they don't have any priority in life, so they'll just let life pass them by, and like, you know, they're too afraid to branch out. They're too afraid to learn Japanese, too afraid to make friends with Japanese people, too afraid to even have like cool hobbies where they could get introduced to Japanese people, you know. Like they don't like they're just they're very isolated, and then they become bitter, and then they just, like, you know, they talk shit about other people without ever actually doing anything themselves, you know. Like, I mean, those are the worst kind of people. Like, I remember when I would do these substitute teacher jobs at, like, Eikaiwas or whatever, and I'd meet these guys that have been here for, like, 12 plus years. They didn't learn any Japanese. This is, like, the only job they've ever had their whole fucking time in Japan. And, like, all they do for fun is hang out with other foreigners who like to make fun of, like, abroad in Japan and stuff. And I'm like, hey, man, like, you guys could, you know, like, part of the fun thing about, like, you know, male interaction is that we can share the experience about talking shit about people we don't like, right? You know, but at the same time, if that's like your only point of like topic for interaction with these people, and it's like, you know, like, they try to compensate for it, right? They're like, well, I'm not just a English teacher, I'm a manager of the branch. Oh, really? So you're in charge of, like, the finances and, like, the scheduling, and you have, like, you know, and you have to talk to the parents in Japanese and everything, and you have to work on the advertising, and you're talking to the head office a bunch. Oh, no, a Japanese guy does that. I'm just the guy who, like, kind of tells the other teachers what to do. I'm like, Or they'll be like, hey, man, I married a Japanese person. I'm like, okay, so? like there's tons of people that marry Japanese people every fucking year. Like, what makes you special? Well, I have a kid. Okay. You know, I have a kid. I have a wife. I'm very, you know, like, this is very important, you know? Like, I'm like, okay. What are we talking about? It's like, you know, it's like, I don't know. I always just find it ironic that it's like, okay, so you think that because you have A, that I need to respect you because you have A. And it's like, for me, I've always tried to judge the person in front of me, not like what they have or what they're wearing, which is hard to do. I mean, like, that's a fun thing. If you ever learn about, like, NLP or cold reading or whatever, one of the first things you do is, like, look at a person. Because, like, most of us are an open book. Most of us are just, like, sonomama, you know? Like, you look at them, and what you see is what you get, kind of thing, you know? Like, if it looks like a duck, quacks like a duck, then it's obviously, you know, Epstein's Island, you know? it's like, hey, man, you know, why aren't there any arrests? Oh, yeah, let's go get the guy in WikiLeaks. Let's put him in jail. That's right. That's what we spend our time on. But it's just like, oh, now we're in a shopping arcade mall and everything. Yeah, this rant's gonna go a little bit over an hour because I extended it a little bit too much. But yeah, I mean, it's just like I think at the end of the day, it's like I try to judge people based on the person I'm seeing in front of me, you know? And it's like, you can judge somebody on what they wear, how they carry themselves, how they interact with other people and stuff. And you know, it's just one of those things where it's like, you gotta, I don't know. It's just, it's like, you gotta think about what you want in life. It could be with relationships, it could be with jobs, it could be with, you know, like, just like overall, like, having a better grasp on reality kind of thing. Like, it's just you are kind of like a blank canvas, you know, but you're like, goes on that canvas is determined by, you know, the kind of people you surround yourself with, and like, you know, because there's only, like, I mean, that was one of the reasons why I didn't really like living at the guest house. Is like, I loved living at the guest house, I loved saving money, but, you know, you come upstairs and you're just surrounded with like people that just want to play Nintendo DS or something, and I'm like, don't you want to go outside? You know, it's a beautiful sunny day, and I know you don't got work today, and like, you know, like, don't you want to go to a park or something? Like, no, I just want to stay home and play DS. I'm like, well, don't you want to at least study Japanese or something? Nah. And I'm like, well, dude, you've been doing this for the past like 7 days, man. Like, you know, like, go out and get some fucking fresh air or something. And it's like, it's like, look, at the end of the day, you do what you want to do, you know, like, it doesn't affect me either way, but it's just like, when you're surrounded by people that just that don't give a shit, they don't want to, like, pursue anything, they don't want to try new things, then it's like, that will kind of eep onto your shit, you know, that will kind of sink in there, and you gotta, you know, it's just like, it's better to be around highly productive people that have goals versus the opposite, right? That's all I'm getting at, I guess, so, but, anyway, I don't know. I guess that's it for today's rant, guys. Look, we got some hip-hop boy and his dad maybe walking around here. We're in, like, some city area right now. We're finally in the downtown area of this place, which is funny because in Japan, downtown means the old area, not the new area. But, yeah, guys, I don't know. Tell me if any of you guys live in Japan. Have you encountered these kind of people? And if so, I don't know. Like, do you think that I'm just thinking too much, or you think that what I'm saying holds some truth to it? I don't know. Let me know in the comments down below. And yeah, if you guys don't live in Japan, do you think that the people you surround yourself with does affect you? And like, if so, like, can you give some examples, either good or bad? Because like, you know, this isn't just me spouting bullshit to a fucking mic. You know, it's I do these rants because I really love the discussion that we have in the comment section afterwards. So if you guys made it this far, make sure to fucking answer the question. Like, I really would like to know, and maybe we can share some similar stories or something down below. And anyway, yeah, guys, like always, thank you so much for watching till the end of the video. Again, if you did not smash the like button already, please smash the like button. And yeah, hit subscribe button and subscribe bell to get notified when another video comes out. And yeah, we're gonna do a live stream like directly after this. I should be posting the URL link in the chat right now. And yeah, big thank you to anybody who dropped a super chat or whatever during this premiere. And yeah, I hope you guys didn't mind that I'm just talking over walking footage here. But I mean, you know, realistically, this is, I don't know, I like the fact that I can be at home and I'm so, I don't know if I call this super focused, but I feel like I'm a little bit more focused than when I'm just like riding my bike around and I don't know where the fuck I'm going. So yeah, I mean, don't worry, there will still be plenty of motorcycle spaghetti rants where I'm out there in public, but I still like that we can kind of have that medium blend between that and this on this channel, you know? So anyway, guys, thanks so much, and I guess I will see you in the live stream. So take it easy, sons. Stay black. Yeah, buddy. Woot woot.